Blake Griffin.
What's good, y'all? Life Lessons with another discussion session. Today I'm going to be talking about Blake Griffin and how this year is really do or die for his career in solidifying a spot in NBA history and in the league as an NBA superstar. Now, if y'all remember, Blake Griffin was in that discussion definitively in 2014 when he was able to get top 3 in MVP voting. Now, we don't give out cookies for second place, let alone third, but he was in that discussion where he had a breakout year, averaged 24 points, almost 10 rebounds, about 5 assists. He showed a lot of progression and growth in terms of his skill set with his mid-range game expanding, and he was playing that brute back to the basket game because he never really had strong footwork down low, but he was able to overpower defenders with his brute strength. But as years progressed, he's obviously endured multitude of injuries within the last 3 years since that time, and that athleticism has diminished, but his skill set sort of remained the same. Not to say that he hasn't worked on his game, but he's clearly been inhibited by rehabilitation through all these injuries. And this year with the departure of Chris Paul, this clearly is the parting of the Red Sea for his career, where he's basically given the keys to the Clippers as the franchise leader and the main focal point of the offense, where it's really do or die to see what he's about as an overall player and how high his ceiling is in terms of superstar potential. Now, I know Blake Griffin's fallen off of the radar in terms of mainstream media. His athleticism has declined. He's clearly not the same marketable player he was. I don't think the Clippers have the strongest roster going into next year. They have a lot of funny pieces that they're trying to couple together. DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin obviously not being the biggest floor spacers. And then you couple that with Austin Rivers, Danilo Gallinari, Sam Decker, Patrick Beverley. The overall offense looks questionable. Gallinari's been an inefficient and volume scorer most of his career. Now that could be because he hasn't played on necessarily competitive teams, so he was put in a position where it's really put up or shut up. Somebody's got to score. But I imagine that you're going to see a lot of pick and roll with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan playing high, low. And that's why, as a Blake Griffin fan, I was actually excited to see Chris Paul leave for the sake that we get to see Blake Griffin's whole skill set put on display this season and see what he's really statistically and individually capable of doing and what that will do to his team's success. In a lot of ways, Chris Paul inhibited Blake Griffin's growth and progression because he was so ball dominant, whether it was maybe in some instances over dribbling, but being so ball dominant to where the offense didn't move without Chris Paul. And that didn't allow for a lot of other players to get involved and really display their talents. Now, there were a multitude of players on that Clippers team that relied on Chris Paul's magic to create openings for not only himself, but for other players. For example, DeAndre Jordan, Mbah a Moute, Wesley Johnson. So there was clearly cases, but Blake Griffin's fully capable of getting the ball in the high post, low post, getting it off the pick and pop, and making him play for himself. But this year is the year for Blake Griffin to see what he's fully capable of, and I'm excited to see it. Like I said, I've been a Blake Griffin fan. Appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Like, subscribe, comment. If you was rocking with the video, hit the like button. If you're new here, subscribe. I just do all sorts of basketball stuff on this channel. But all that being said, I'm out.
When I pop out, city I always talk about what I rap about. Show me love cause I love it. I love it. Only thing I could covet in public.